Sandra Birchmore, she's a 23-year-old young woman who was pregnant with her first child with the man that she thought, she loved. Why? Because she was groomed by him from the age of 12 on up. He was a police officer with the Stoughton Police Department, which just happens to be right next to Canton, Massachusetts, where we've already seen a lot of, well, not the best police work being done. It's a very tragic case where she loses her life, years and years of sexual abuse, not only by Matthew Farwell, allegedly the police officer, but possibly also his brother, also an officer, possibly also the head of the Police Explorer program being involved in this in some way, shape, or form in terms of cover up. Lots of allegations there that are still being looked into as it is an active federal investigation. Joining me to discuss, Robin Dreeke, retired FBI special agent, chief of the Counterintelligence Behavioral Analysis Program. We see stories like this, unfortunately, semi-frequently, people in power taking advantage of young people for their own sad sexual purposes. And then something like this happens once that threat of the information getting out takes place. But this is one geographically that I think made everybody's eyebrows go up simply because it's right next to Canton. And there are some officers that are shared back and forth for different duties. And it shows a pattern here of let's kind of protect each other, no matter how dark things maybe that are going on. What's your thoughts on this case as we enter into
How many levels of wrong can we have?
it?
So, Tony, these cases, every case we deal with is extremely tragic, but I get moved and tear jerked on these in particular because we are dealing with children that have been abused.
Hmm.
I when I started reading this case, I immediately thought of Melissa Soto. I immediately thought of Chad and Lori Daybell's kids,
Hmm.
you know, and here was someone's daughter who had a desire and inspiration to get into law enforcement. So she joins a local group to be mentored, taught, and guided by senior law enforcement officials at a young age. And she's groomed to be sexually abused.
Hmm.
That is the most horrendous, evil, tragic thing that could happen. And so you take that evilness, that horribleness, that tragedy of her loss of innocence in life at that point.
Yeah.
At an even worse level, she falls in loves with a guy, gets pregnant by him, wants to keep the baby apparently. And so again, look at the context. We do our thought experiments. We look at with her with deep empathy, seeing life through her eyes. She was thinking, this is my new life.
Mhm.
Her parents, all these people are worried about their little girl, and here's this little
Yeah.
girl who was groomed by these horrendous people. And then when you then throw on top, you have two others that are potentially involved in the department, and then in this whole region. This is an area that needs to be wiped clean of leadership, because this is the most massive leadership failure I've seen in law enforcement, because this isn't just a one-off, one bad officer
No.
and everyone else is good. No. This is a institution that needs to be rebuilt from the ground up.
Add one more thing to that. Her parents had died recently. So
Oh,
so she's dealing with that trauma, and this guy seems to see it rather as a way to let's help her, let's get her focused on something else, something that can be positive. He sees it as an opportunity, as someone who's having difficulty and going through trauma and tragedy as a way to sexualize this child. So add that all to everything you just said. It makes it even another layer deeper in hell for where this guy comes from. Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to follow us wherever you download podcasts, and especially Apple Podcasts, where you can get advanced episode and premium content on our premium channel right there. Also, be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any breaking updates on the stories that matter to you most. We're on TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Brueski, and you'll find us right there. Again, thanks for watching.